Grover Cleveland. Key achievements and events as the 22nd President of the United States. 1. Interstate Commerce Act. President Grover Cleveland signed the Interstate Commerce Act into law in 1887, marking the first significant federal regulation of the railroad industry. The act established the Interstate Commerce Commission, ICC, to oversee railroad rates and practices, promoting fair competition and protecting consumers. 2. Veto of Texas Seed Bill. Cleveland famously vetoed the Texas Seed Bill in 1887, rejecting federal aid for drought-stricken farmers in Texas. He argued that providing government assistance for personal or local needs set a dangerous precedent, and emphasized fiscal responsibility in government spending. 3. Dawes Act. Cleveland supported the Dawes Act of 1887, which sought to assimilate Native Americans into mainstream American society by allotting them individual plots of land, while the act aimed to promote agricultural self-sufficiency among Native Americans. It also led to the loss of tribal lands and cultural erosion. 4. Haymarket Riot Response. In 1886, Cleveland faced the aftermath of the Haymarket Riot in Chicago, a violent labor protest that resulted in the deaths of police officers and civilians. Cleveland condemned the violence and called for justice. But his administration's response to the riot sparked controversy over its handling of labor issues. 5. Civil Service Reform. Cleveland was a staunch advocate of civil service reform, and worked to expand the merit-based system for federal appointments. His administration implemented reforms to professionalize the civil service and reduce political patronage, promoting efficiency and integrity in government. 6. Pension Veto. Cleveland vetoed numerous pension bills during his presidency, rejecting fraudulent pension claims and advocating for fiscal restraint in government spending. His vetoes of pension bills aimed to ensure that pension benefits were reserved for deserving veterans and their families. 7. Panama Canal Diplomacy. Cleveland initiated diplomatic efforts to secure American control over the construction of the Panama Canal, negotiating the Hay-Aron Treaty with Colombia in 1903. Although the treaty was ultimately rejected by the Colombian Senate, it paved the way for the later acquisition of the canal zone. 8. Tariff Reform. Cleveland called for tariff reform throughout his presidency, advocating for lower tariffs to promote free trade and reduce consumer prices. Despite facing opposition from protectionist interests, Cleveland's efforts laid the groundwork for future tariff reform efforts. 9. Civil Rights Record. Cleveland's civil rights record was mixed, as he faced criticism for his handling of racial issues and civil rights violations. His administration's response to incidents, such as the suppression of African American voting rights in the South, highlighted the challenges of addressing systemic racism. 10. Legacy and Historical Assessment. Grover Cleveland's presidency is remembered for his commitment to fiscal conservatism, civil service reform, and limited government intervention. While his administration faced challenges and controversies, Cleveland's advocacy for principled governance and economic moderation left a lasting impact on American politics.